Alright, this has been on my to-do list since the very beginning. I just keep finding other things that sound more fun to me. Spaghetti. So let's get to it. Our trinity of diced onion, carrot, celery ready to go. Get a saucepan ready with a little olive oil. Get all those in to saute. Now the ground beef, about half a pound. Two bay leaves. I decided to add a little bacon for the extra pork flavor kick, and then to add a little bit of that smokiness. It's all cooking up good. Add in a little of my Italian seasoning. Then we'll get our water ready to go. We'll crank up the heat on that and cover it. We don't salt that until it's at a boil, otherwise it'll pip the pan. Little Maggi seasoning. Little liquid smoke. Mix that all up. And then we'll remove that to a bowl so that I can use the saucepan to start a vinegar reduction. So a little balsamic vinegar. And then some distilled vinegar. That's reduced nicely there. Can of tomato sauce. Some sliced mushrooms. Throw our meat and veggies back in. I'll rinse the can out with a little bit of water so I get all the tomato sauce. Little red wine is really good to do that with too. Some diced black olives. Sliced black olives. I took a can of artichoke hearts and put them in some reserved artichoke heart marinade. Mix that all up, and then this has been cooking a little while, so I'm going to add a little more Italian seasoning. A little Greek seasoning. A little ground rosemary. And some dried parsley flakes. and some fresh ground black pepper. Then the water's up to heat, so I'm going to blanch my asparagus briefly in my spaghetti cooking water. That'll get my asparagus done, plus it also adds some flavor to the spaghetti water. I've also added a pinch of kosher salt to the water. Alright, 1 package of spaghetti into the salted boiling water. Set the timer for 10 minutes. Now that the pasta is done, I'm going to add just a tick of the pasta water into the sauce. And then strain the noodles. And that goes right onto the plate. Just a tick more Italian seasoning into the finished sauce so that that's a nice bright fresh flavor. Then some Parmesan onto the hot noodles. Top that with some of the sauce. A little bit more Parmesan. Set some asparagus on the side. And we're good to go. A little garlic bread would be good with this too. There we are. Alright, so spaghetti, like I said, is something I've been wanting to do for quite a while. I always talk to people at the food bank about it, and I'm always amazed at how many people ask for how to do it and suggestions. So that's my take on spaghetti. One of the things I like to do is saute the vegetables, usually carrots, celery, and onion. I saute those off, remove those to a separate pan, and then I reduce some balsamic vinegar and distilled vinegar down and start the spaghetti sauce on top of that, and then re-add the vegetables in, as you saw in the cooking segment. I also do some other takes on spaghetti. We'll do some of those later on. This is my typical American spaghetti with a long cook time, so I hope you like it. As far as tomatoes go for a tomato sauce, I like to use either the canned whole or diced and stick blend them, or just a can of tomato sauce. Also with garlic, if I have fresh, I'll saute that with the other vegetables, but if I don't, I'm fine using granulated garlic in the mix, as you saw in this one. This is another one of those where I'll use my pre-blended spice mixes that are toasted and ground at the beginning and all throughout the seasoning of this, and then I add in whole untoasted herbs and spices along the way too. Just builds up a different flavor profile. Also, you notice I did the typical Italian way of thinking, not wasting anything. I boiled the asparagus in the pasta water so that adds some flavor there too. A couple of other things I know I've mentioned before, but I wanted to go over again because they're such a core part of my cooking pasta. One, you don't oil the water to keep pasta from sticking. You're just wasting your oil. The only way to keep pasta from sticking is stirring as it boils. Two, when you're salting the water, you want enough salt in the water to flavor the pasta. That's the whole point of the salt in the water at that point. Another thing you'll notice, before I drain the pasta, I throw some of the pasta water from the boiled pasta into the sauce. That helps bind the sauce and the pasta together when they're mixed. I hope you give my spaghetti sauce version a try. I think you'll really like it. Until next time, thanks for watching.